Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Zinx here, coming at you today with another COD League predictions video. But Zinx, where's the rank play for dummies videos? Well, basically, since Modern Warfare 2 rank play is infested with cheaters and the reporting system is absolutely busted, my account has been perma-shadow banned for all of eternity. So I can't play rank for more than an hour without disconnecting or getting reported for no reason and being suspended and losing my SR. So we're not going to touch that until Infinity Ward gets their shit together, which hopefully will be in Season 3, which is dropping in 2 weeks. Before we get into this week's predictions, let's take a moment to catch up on everything that happened since Major 3. For those of you unfortunate enough to not watch arguably one of the best tournaments thus far, Toronto Ultra put an end to Optic Gaming's incredible Losers Round 1 run in the Grand Finals to win their first championship since the Kickoff Classic back in Vanguard. Unfortunate result for Optic's new roster, who seem to finally come together this tournament, but definitely a good sign of things to come for the future majors. Toronto also looked in final form the entire weekend without losing a single match, so fair play to them as well. This left the overall league standings looking like this. Atlanta FaZe's third place exit still has them atop the standings at 225 points. The Major 3 winners jumped to within 10 points of first place. Optic's historic run puts them up to third place with 170 points to their name. Another tough major drops Subliners down to 4th. LA Thieves' early exit leaves them just below NYSL in 5th. Boston Breach's top 4 run has them sitting pretty at 6th place, just one win behind LA Thieves. Seattle Surge sit just 10 points behind them at 7th place. Despite going 0-6 throughout all of Major 3, Rocker somehow manages to have a 20-point lead over 9th place Vegas Legion. LAG and Florida Mutineers sit at 10th and 11th, and with little to no hope of making champs this year, London Royal Ravens still sit rock bottom after choking Losers Round 1 versus Optic. With only 2 majors left before champs, Major 3 was the last chance for some of these rosters to prove themselves, and roster media leading up to this week's qualifiers have been interesting to say the least. For starters, following their Losers Round 1 exit, London Royal Ravens opted to pick up Ulysses from Challengers, dropping Paul X from the team completely. Following Eli Standy's controversial exit from the Toronto Ultra camp, Las Vegas Legion wasted no time picking up the seasoned vet, relieving 2 real of his services despite playing very well at Major 3. And finally, the change that almost everybody and yet nobody expected, Minnesota Rocker decided to throw a curveball and drop their most seasoned veteran in Attach for the likes of Fame, a player from their academy roster, to change the narrative of their season. However, none of these roster moves were as controversial as the most recent map update and the CDL rotation. Despite rosters having little to no experience at the professional level, the players in the league voted to add the newest release map, Himalaya Expo, I don't know how to say that name, to replace Fortress Control. This caused an outrage amongst the community, most notably Octane of the LA Thieves, who went on stream to claim that teams just voted this map in blindly due to their hate of Fortress, and the pros have no idea if this map plays better or worse. Interestingly, it was deemed that most teams originally voted to keep Fortress in, but later changed their votes. In my opinion, unlike when they added Berlin Control last year in Vanguard, a change like this could completely switch up the league. At such a crucial point in the season, teams could lose series based on the lack of experience of this map. Don't get me wrong, getting stuck in the Fortress spawn trap is complete shit, but I felt like teams were slowly starting to figure out the map and more offensive wins were happening. The same thing could be said for Gavuntu Control in Vanguard. I think Expo should be added to give more of a map pool, but I don't think Fortress should have been completely taken out. Okay, now that all the fucked up housekeeping is in order, let's get into my predictions, shall we? First up, the new Vegas Legion roster looks poised to get revenge on Boston for knocking them out of Major 3. According to Standy, scrims have been amazing so far, but I think Boston is just too consistent and will get the better of Vegas by a score of 3-1. Next up, we got LA Thieves versus London Royal Ravens. 2 rosters looking to bounce back from a disappointing showing in Major 3. While LA Thieves are the favorites, we must remember Ravens have a new roster again, which means a possible honeymoon series. But still, you got a pissed off Draza coming to play. I think Thieves clean sweep the series 3-0. The final series on Friday is my most anticipated series, Atlanta FaZe versus New York Subliners. Last time these two teams met, it was a strange series filled with no power, no commentators, and hour-long delays, but ended in a Game 5 on Embassy going in the way of FaZe. As a fan of NYSL, I want to be biased and say the Subbies will bounce back from Major 3 and come to beat the best team in the league, but let's be real, they're the best team in the league for a reason, and I think they handle it comfortably by a score of 3-1, thus ruining the rest of my weekend. Saturday's first match features Minnesota Rocker and the Florida Mutineers. A must-win situation for the new Rocker roster as Mutineers are looking to close the gap on that 8th and final champs position. Not sure how well Rocker bounced back with Fame being added to the roster so recently. Also, Mutineers' chemistry has looked really good since Major 3, and I think they build off that by taking the series by a score of 3-0. Next up, a rematch of the winners round 2 from Major 3 as Boston look to take down the reigning champs. There is some beef in this series between former Challengers players Beans, Hixie, and Scrap, so this will definitely be a dogfight. But I think Ultra just looks so good right now, and they're going to take down the Breach into Game 5. Cannot remember the last time this happened, but the new Rocker roster will play 2 series in the same day, this time against LAG. LAG looking to bounce back after getting knocked out immediately from Major 3. Another important game for Rocker as LAG are looking to close the gap on the ace spot, especially if Mutineers are able to beat Rocker earlier in the day. I think Rocker will have the hot hand due to playing 2 series in the same day, but knowing how good LAG can be online, I think LAG takes this series by a score of 3-1 or 3-2. Final series on Saturday features the 5th and 7th seed, LA Thieves versus the Seattle Surge. An important game for Surge as a win will push them further away from Rocker in the 8th seed and that much closer to getting a spot at Champs. Thieves should feel hot coming off a win from Ravens the day before, and historically have the better of Surge in this matchup. I think Thieves take this series 3-1 to go 2-0 on the weekend, passing NYSL in the overall standings. First matchup on Sunday features Toronto Ultra and the Seattle Surge. Another chance for Ultra to display their dominance and possibly pass FaZe on the overall standings with a win. I think the only way Ultra don't 3-0 Surge is if Accuracy has a good series. With Scrap and Insight being the 2 strongest ARs in the league, Accuracy needs to put in a shift to help Sib shut them down. You know Pred and Matt can make plays on the map, but the key to shutting down Ultra is by shutting up their loudest players. A rematch of Losers Round 1 is a chance for revenge for the London Royal Ravens. However, you are not facing the same Optic you faced in Major 3. You are facing a brand new Optic roster that is one of the top contenders for winning the next Major. And honestly, best of luck to you because I wouldn't want to play these guys right now. I think Optic clean sweep Ravens 3-0. Final matchup this weekend features the Florida Mutineers and Atlanta FaZe. I don't want to say this series will be a swift 3-0, but historically, I can't remember the last time Mutineers were able to take down FaZe. I think Havoc and Capsidal have looked very good, but I don't think they compete with the Tiny Terrors. I'm going to be generous and say 3-1 FaZe, but realistically, this has a clean sweep written all over it. And that's it from me. Hopefully, the only controversy within the next few videos will be results of series rather than outside BS. Let me know if you guys enjoyed the video by leaving a like, commenting down below, and clicking the subscribe button for my little ego. I'll see you guys next week to break it all down. And peace.